CDRI Fellowship Program provides financial support and peer learning opportunities for individuals designing solutions for real-world problems related to the resilience of infrastructure. In 2021, CDRI awarded fellowships to 21 teams from 9 member countries. The first cohort of the fellowship is on the cusp of completing its journey with CDRI. CDRI is proud of the fellows and the knowledge and innovative solutions they have generated through the fellowship program.
Moreover, the topic is more crucial than ever since we're reaching the tipping point where loss of biodiversity due to ecological disruption driven by human activities makes the world prone to zoonotic infections that can lead to pandemics as COVID-19. The CDRI Fellowship has contributed to expand my knowledge on climate adaptive infrastructure and has given me the opportunity to continue exploring the topic from a local perspective in Peru.
Landslides are one of the critical phenomena that frequently lead to loss of life and property as well as causing severe damage to the natural resources and infrastructures. This research conducted with the financial support of the CDRI organization. Every year, landslide in Borneo result in significant economic and social losses like deaths, injuries, and property destructions. The result of this research established an important tool for decision makers, planners, and engineers. They can make rapid and well-grounded decisions to minimize and avoid the damage and losses caused by existing and future landslides.
My CDRI project is on disaster resilience of bridges exposed to climate change and growing traffic load during design life. I started this research because one of the major challenges associated with the development of disaster resilience bridge infrastructure is to account for the bridge health degradation and transient nature of disasters over bridge service life. Results from one of the bridges show that the disaster resilience of the bridge decreases due to both intensity of the disaster and the level of bridge degradation. The outcome of this research has a potential application in maintenance and asset management of bridges.
Nepal is a country that is prone to various disasters such as floods and landslides. Every year, there is huge loss of lives and infrastructure due to these disasters. I'm thankful to CDRI for supporting my research on landslides.
The CDRI Fellowship has been helping us to conduct the research and fieldwork we proposed in Churi Hill region. So I am proud to be a CDRI Fellow.
I am working on a CDRI research project that aims to high altitude wetland inventory for disaster risk reduction in the transboundary Himalayan region. This project considers climate change and its impact on the Himalayan glacier melting and fosters innovation in future wetland inventory. I believe this CDRI project can build up research capacity and promote research excellence in nature-based solutions for mountain disaster risk reduction.
My topic is thermal stress testing of residential building using reference weather data. In today's world, there is a rise in the morbidity and mortality due to extreme climatic conditions such as heat waves and cold snaps. Most deaths that occur in residences or buildings are mainly due to the thermal characteristics of the building and the local environment. To understand the extent of this problem, it is essential for us to identify, capture and predict the extreme climatic events that are happening.
CDRI has given us a platform to conduct long-term research to utmost importance of our Buddhist community, disaster resilient building construction practices on hilly slopes of Bhutan, a research compliance and recommendation for national adaptation will contribute towards resilient future by creating awareness on hilly settlements, mitigation and adaptation measures which are important in gearing towards resilient infrastructure on hilly settlements.
Our study concentrates on the Western Ghats region in Kerala, one of the most frequent landslide-prone mountain ranges in India. The lack of a reliable landslide susceptibility map in the Western Ghats has led to poor quantification of risk associated with rainfall-induced landslides to the road networks. The study introduces a framework to improve the susceptibility mapping by performing probabilistic slope stability analysis. This would eventually lead to better risk management planning and evacuation strategies during such catastrophes.
We were awarded CDRI Fellowship 2021. We have conducted the research for the efficient disaster response for the Hawkesbury River region
and Nepean Valley in Australia. CDRI Fellowship has greatly added value into our research, and we have managed to publish high quality articles in this domain as well. We really acknowledge and appreciate the step of CDRI in supporting the researchers in this domain around the globe.
This is a high frequency transmitting and receiving radio designed for amateur radio frequency bands. During disasters, when all modes of communication fail, amateur radio works. Amateur radio operators will quickly go there during a disaster and ensure communication, reducing mortality, morbidity, and infrastructure losses, which we are writing a white paper, and CDRI will help in advocacy.
We are investigating on innovative structural protection system for a resilient community against multiple hazards. The endeavor in which we are developing cost-effective sustainable technologies for hospital buildings to ascertain their safety against various potential hazards and improve resilience against extreme events such as earthquake, wind and fire, which is directly relevant to save invaluable human lives. The Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure has been extending keen support through the CDRI Fellowship, which has helped in establishing research collaboration with Professor Tracy Breaker from the University of California at Berkeley.
I'm a fluvial geomorphologist interested in capturing the dynamics of global rivers. I use satellite imagery to understand the risks that river-related hazards pose to people and to infrastructure. As part of the CDRI Fellowship, I have been developing a web-based application to map and measure shifts in the position of large rivers in the Philippines. The aim of the project is to improve the resilience of infrastructure to the risks from geohazards. Thank you to the CDRI programme and to all collaborators involved in the project.
This project uses Majoli, a river island in Assam. This adaptive strategy helps the local to cope with the flooding and thrive their seasonal demands than the relocation of the personnel. Also, this project involves a net zero model for fresh and wastewater management into the system, achieving self-sustenance and scoping for integration of floating farms and energy system through community participation.
India is witnessing its most significant urban expansion in history. Supporting this volume of urbanization requires significant investments in all major infrastructure systems. Hence, the role of urban planning becomes pivotal in taking a long-term integrated view of infrastructure resilience. We are developing a risk-informed urban planning framework. Through our framework, we hope to support the existing development planning process of the city in 3 ways. First, identify the range of disaster and climate variables in the short and long term. Second, assess their broad spatial impacts on major infrastructure systems. And third, connect them to appropriate planning projects.
Our CDRI Fellowship project is developing an index-based tool which will identify the first order risk assessment as well as the zonation of the critical infrastructure in the Eastern Economic Corridor in Thailand. Thanks to CDRI Fellowship for encouraging and supporting the risk and resilience related research in the region.
Our research focuses on integrating plans and strengthening communications through machine learning. So we have developed a smart application, which is a think tank for emergency managers and planners. And it's an intelligent application with natural language processing, where we have taught the machine to learn and understand several hundred emergency management concepts. So we've enjoyed being a part of the first cohort of CDRI's fellowship program, and this opportunity has helped us take plan integration to the next level. And we look forward to continuing our research to build a comprehensive, smart knowledge management portal for governments to streamline their business applications and to execute tasks efficiently during disaster situations.
In Nepal, thousands of landslides occur in the rainy season. The problem is we build infrastructure where we believe it's profitable, but overlook landslides that could impact throughout its life cycle, creating huge losses in the long run. We mapped past landslide locations over several years, and we found that more than half of the landslides are located on roads. We're developing a web portal to disseminate this data set and the map for researchers and decision makers.
Our study is on risk-informed school evaluation tool. We consider school as a critical infrastructure which is often used as a shelter point during disaster times. While choosing schools for our children, we often neglect disaster resilience aspect of the school, so that we want to explore through this study. I am very much thankful to CDRI for providing this opportunity.
Did you know that in 2020, trade, including imports and exports, accounted for over 1/3 of India's total economy? What is even more remarkable is that nearly 95% of this trade travels through the sea. We have 12 major ports and over 200 non-major ports which are spread across our vast coastline, and all of them are critical for India's economy.
In this context, the Government of India last year unveiled its Grand Maritime India Vision 2030, which is focused on building new world-class ports, modernizing existing ports, and promoting port-led industrialization.
And with support of the 2021 CDRI Fellowship, we are conducting a study to assess the impacts of climate change on India's port infrastructure and operations, to generate practical and implementable solutions that could be adopted by individual port authorities and also the Government of India at the policy level to make our port infrastructure more resilient in the face of accelerating climate change.
For the CDRI Fellowship, my team members Meghna, Ananya, Akanksha and I are exploring the potential of a participatory monitoring and evaluation framework using social audits, which puts the users of the infrastructure at the forefront of monitoring, evaluation and learning to build resilience. As economists, my team is interested in exploring the participatory approaches for governance, for disaster resilience, and CDRI has been an excellent platform to start this journey. For a young social scientist, the fellowship provides a unique platform to learn from experienced researchers from across countries and fields.